Hey everyone, what's going on? My name's Mackenzie. I'm the associate editor here at Double XL Magazine, and I'm here with the Butcher, one and
Yeah,
only.
the
How's,
Butchie, Big Butchie. What's happening?
how's it going, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I've been doing a lot of talking today. I'm good.
Well, I would hate to say that I'm not going to make you talk more, but it's a deep album. There's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack, so we're gonna get it.
Right.
Um, I guess just from the top, Everybody Can't Go feels like it's an album that's been in the vault for a long time. And you've mentioned in the past that you like to live with albums rather than rush it. Take me back to when you first started on this project and how your creative approach to the album kind of changed along the way.
Uh, when I first started with my sessions with Hit Boy in Vegas. Mm, I wanted to paint my picture and get my point across early and working on the album. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I did that in the first few sessions. So everything else was like me building on it, but you know what I mean? When I get in there with my producers, you know what I'm saying? I'm locked in. It's just I'm a different animal. Everybody know I'm a different animal when I'm with Hit Boy and Al. You know what I mean? I did that early.
And I guess lyrically speaking, how did it kind of come together? Because it's a very deep album. It's a very deep album. There's a lot of reflecting back, a lot of looking back at the journey that you have. When did you kind of decide along the way that this was going to be a very lyrically dense project?
When I started working on it, from the title, Everybody Can't Go, from what I was going through and the picture that I wanted to paint and the feelings that I wanted to to show to let people know what I was going through. You know what I mean? And I know what people used to from me. So I wanted to definitely stay in my lane and live as Benny the Butcher, but I wanted to get a little bit more creative and play with the melodies and shit, man. And you know, my cloth is the details and transparency and the vulnerability and just showing them me through the music.
That was being on Def Jam. Did that have anything to, did that influence it at all? Did that kind of change the way you approach the music at all? Because I imagine it might have increased the pressure a little bit in order to put out something special.
No, no, you know, people been asking me that, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it has the process of recording music been the same. It's not like I'm working with producers I haven't worked with. I'm working with producers who I'm very, very comfortable with. I put my whole last album out before this with Alchemist. I think it was just about trusting my instincts and trusting what I'm used to doing. You know what I'm saying? And letting that speak for itself and letting that be the meat and potatoes of the project. I'm saying.
Tell me about the phrase "everybody can't go." That seems like a very specific phrase to you. When was the first time you heard of it, thought of it? Where does that phrase come from?
I feel like that's something I've been saying over the past couple years. Uh, when I come to a point in life where I'm at a different phase. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to board another plane to another destination, and everybody can go. You know, everybody make it to different checkpoints. You know, that's why they say it's lonely at the top because you don't show up that crowd that you show up with from jump. You don't show up with that crowd at the top, and I don't make the rules. I just play by them. You know, that's part of the game, and I felt that was so necessary to name the album that, saying that I was going through that like in my real life at the time and right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, on this entire project, like I said, it seems like you're reflecting back and kind of reflecting on that come up that you had and everything that came with it from the trials and tribulations you experienced. At what point did you kind of start to, I guess, were there any memories conveyed on the album that were particularly challenging to tap back into? And how did you approach putting those challenging moments into music?
Man, nah, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at a point in life where I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody can't go because I wanna stay happy. I wanna stay peaceful. And and I think I hope the album don't come across as like a struggle album, or you know what I'm saying, because I'm in a good mood and I'm happy. And you know, these are just feelings that I paint. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to put my feelings on wax.
Yeah.
These are the feelings that I paint to let people know, like, besides all of the money and the jewelry and whatever y'all think this game consists of, like, it's other things going on. We feel different things, you know what I'm saying?
No, and I didn't mean for it to come off like it is a struggle album because you do drop a lot of gems about kind of how to be successful, a lot of tidbits throughout the project. I'm guess
Ah,
I guess more specifically on like on the song "Everybody Can't Go," you say
mm,
I did so much shit to wear the crown, rock your relationship with the game, like Iverson and Larry Brown. Kind of go into that a little bit as you've kind of come up, as you've kind of gotten to the point where you're at now. How is your relationship with the rap game now that you've seen it for what it is rather than what you thought it was coming into it?
It's a smooth relationship now that I can know what to expect from the game. You know, you come into this game blind in a sense. You know what I mean? And you know, my eyes been open to to opportunists, to fake friends, to bad businessmen. I'm saying my eyes is open, so I'm operating on a different wavelength now, and I feel like it's all part of the game. I feel like I need to learn that, and I needed to see that, and I needed to feel those things so I can identify it and move on from it. You know what I'm saying? But my relationship good, but you know what I mean? It's like it's bittersweet. I can't lie.
Yeah. Is there anything, I'm curious then if there's any memories, business deals, anything that you were experiencing coming up in the game that you kind of look back on and be like, man, I wish I handled that differently, or if it's all kind of part of the process.
Man, it's all part of the process, man. One thing that I always point out to people is that I'm from the east side of Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? I've done everything you possibly could do in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I left unscathed without a scratch on me. I didn't get shot till I became a rapper. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, that let me know, like, the arena that I'm in, that no matter how blessed I am, and no matter the circles that I'm in, you know, the bullshit is still right there. You know what I mean? We ain't safe from nothing.
I'm surprised that I was surprised, I guess, to not hear you talk about that particular incident on the project about you getting shot and everything that kind of came with that. You said that you didn't experience something like that until you became a rapper. Did that kind of
Mhm.
spoil your opinion on the rap game at all, or did it kind of just make you motivated to go harder, or both?
No, that motivated me to go harder. That really let me know like who I was, and what was going on, and how people saw me, you know, and and I chose not to speak about it on this album because I didn't want to keep talking about that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It was one shot and a leg. You know what I'm saying?
And you've talked about it before, so it's not like people haven't heard
Yeah,
about it.
shit wasn't even above the waist. It was a fucking one shot in the leg. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? I learned what I needed to learn, but I did say line. I said, you probably heard when I got shot. I bought a Rollie, an AP, and a Cardi after that watch. You know what I'm saying? Just talking my shit, but I didn't want to focus on that type of thing.
It's clear from songs like How to Rap, you almost feel this responsibility, and you've talked about this before, you feel this responsibility to kind of pay it forward to the newcomers that are kind of coming up now to kind of instill the knowledge and the things that you've learned. Tell me about that responsibility you feel as a successful MC and where that responsibility stems from. When did you kind of start to feel that way about like, man, I should really start giving it back or paying it forward rather?
When I start feeling accomplished, because that's the first thing you do when you feel accomplished. I'm saying you want to give some game. The first thing you want to do when you get some game, you want to give some game. That's no difference from you know, the big men in the NBA going down to learn something from the Dream in the summer, Olajuwon. It's no different from you know what I mean? People going to go work out with coaches in the off season on the NFL. It's like I made it to this point. You're responsible for giving that game back to pull more people up. You know what I mean? You don't gotta stuff people pockets with money. You don't gotta fucking slit your wrists and give them the blood out your veins, but you do gotta help provide opportunities to the ones who prepare for it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how what the OGs did for me. That's how I'm here right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely important that we do the same thing.
I was just gonna say, where did you learn that from? Where did you learn that responsibility from originally?
Man, seeing how West Conway pulled me up, seeing how the very first Griselda show in New York City, you had Kiss there, you had Styles there, you had Prodigy there, you had Rock Marciano there. There's a couple of names I'm forgetting. I don't know what I'm saying. Was Ray there? I'm not sure. But you had all those guys there who seen a little bit of themselves in Griselda and wanted to make sure that they stamped it and went out their way to stamp it so they could be known to the people like, no, we approve of this shit right here.
Do you feel there's a lack of personal responsibility and accountability in hip hop right now?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do about it though? It's like that. You know what I mean? Because that's what the people pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay attention to the responsible niggas. You know what I mean? It's all good though. Let them keep doing that dumb shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's everybody can't go, I guess.
That's it, and that's all.
Obviously, the Wayne feature is huge, and we got to talk about that a little bit. How important was it getting him on Big Dog, and how did it feel lyrically sparring with him in a way?
Every album I drop, I'm working with like a person who was considered top five. You know what I'm saying? And Wayne was that on this album. Mm. I got Kiss on this album too, so you know what I mean? I always want to work with the spitters. I always want to work with the people who, you know what I mean, the top guys. And Wayne delivered that energy. Whenever me and Wayne on the song, you know what I'm saying? It's that energy. I mean, it was a no-brainer.
I wanted to ask about that with Pillow Talks and Slander, because putting Jadakiss and Babyface Ray, it's not an immediate combination that I would think about on a song, but they sound really good together. How did that kind of come about, putting those two together with you?
Yep, my genius. I was in a lab and I'm thinking I'm gonna mix a little of this and a little of that. I'm thinking like, who can I send this record to? And I wanna, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to some contrast on a record, you know what I'm saying? So me and Kiss, of course, and then I'm like, let me get Babyface Ray on that, you know what I mean? Because I fuck with him and the people fuck with him, and let's see how he'll sound on this, and it came out dope.
Yeah, that's to me, that's one of my favorite on the record so far. That's a hard song. I'm curious how you came up about that line, with that line about Cat Williams' perm.
You know, because it lay, when you get a permit lay, you know what I'm saying? When you lay and you, man, I don't know. I'll be high when I be writing this shit.
Yeah. Tell me about the characters and narratives you kind of explored on TMVTL. I mean, are these real stories, and how did you kind of approach each anecdote as you kind of switched through them for each one?
I wanted to tell three different stories where, you know what I mean, like that got deep into some shit, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like the jail one is a story that maybe we all have heard. If we don't know personally, we kind of heard that one, the first one. And you know, I wanted to make it real dark from the production. I wanted to make it real dark, and I wanted to get back to storytelling. And so much that I told three stories on one record, switched the beat up. I wanted to get creative and do some storytelling shit. That was Alchemist's idea, was just to switch the beats up. I'm not gonna lie. That was Al.
That was a great
That was
idea.
Al.
I realized, kind of listening through that song, how long it's been since I've heard kind of a narrative driven rap song like that. Do you feel the same way? Do you feel that that kind of art form hasn't really been present in hip hop as much recently?
Of course, because you know these guys get on songs and they say anything and they make the hook about anything. You know, it's a circus out here.
How do you feel about the state of rap in general right now? What are your feelings towards
I
it?
love it. I love it. It's healthy. It's so healthy. The females running this shit. That's how healthy it is. You put what I'm saying? You know, it might not be what we expected, or it might not be the shit that we listen to. Might not be the shit that's driving it. But you know, it's here, and we can't ask for more. But for hip hop to it turned 50 years old, 2023, we can't ask for more. But for hip hop to keep living and breathing, if it's living and breathing through them, so be it. You know what I'm saying? We should support it.
Are there any people coming up right now that you're really interested in seeing where they go?
Yeah, I'm still paying attention to Simba. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he got a bright future. Uh, my boy Fuego Bass. I'm saying he's going crazy. Uh, who else, man? You know, Stove God. You know what I'm saying? Everybody waiting for his project to see where he go and what he do with it. Mm,
Yeah, what's the latest on Stove God? I feel like people are starved for some Stove God.
man, they are. Man, they are. And I mean, I don't know his situation. I just know he going through some shit. Man, he a talented dude and he got the right people around him and he gonna figure it out, man. You know what I'm saying? People waiting for that music, baby.
You and him sound really great together on One Foot In. That's a great track.
I mean, we sound good together, man. Somebody gonna give us some money so we can do a project together real soon.
That would be amazing. Yeah. I guess kind of going off that, circling back to Jermaine's graduation, you spoke a little bit about kind of the rumors that have floated around Griselda because y'all are off doing your own thing and, being successful, I guess. Putting all of that aside, because obviously that's all nonsense. I know you guys are closer than ever and y'all are excited for each other. I am wondering if, looking back at your own relationship with Conway and West over the years, is there something that maybe a specific memory that you miss about the time when you were grinding it out together? Is there a time when you were just like working really hard and you kind of look back now at the top of the mountain being like, damn, that was actually a really fun time?
Man, hell yeah. Yeah, the beginning years of the shit. When we're all together, putting this shit together when we all was in one house under one roof. And a song called Germany's Graduation. That's my daughter name, Germany. We was all in one roof. I love that, man, and I miss that. And I'm pretty sure they do too, but that's what happens is when the plan works and we're all successful. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going to do their own thing and it gets bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta occupy more space and we gotta, and this Griselda shit gotta go deep and corners that we ain't imagine. And it happens like that by West doing his thing, Conway doing his thing, and me doing my thing. So, that's the product of success. You know what I'm saying? The best case scenario, it happened.
And I'm only asking because, there is such a looking back and kind of reflecting back on this album. And I wonder if almost you're nostalgic in a way for the way it used to be, even though obviously things are better now than they were.
Mm-hmm. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Things was definitely nostalgic back then, the process of it. And, you know what I mean? Ain't that's the funny thing about being successful? You know what I mean? It's the funny thing. Like, imagine all the championships the Patriots won. The coaching staff broke up.
Yeah, exactly.
The best case scenario, it happens. And I'm saying that's it. That's all.
Yeah, and like it's really all about the journey at the end of the day, which is so weird, right? Because you want to get to your destination so badly, and then, when you get there, sometimes looking back and seeing the journey for what it was is sometimes you kind of realize that was the whole point. That was what was so fun. But I digress. Anyway, talk to me about the song with Snoop. I know Snoop Dogg is a rapper who's been in your corner for a while. How did your relationship start? How did that song come together? That seems like a really special song. Sounds like you got Snoop to really, really tap in with that one.
Yeah, man, I met the dog, man. You know what I'm saying? Out here in New York City. I met him, pulled up to the studio, we chopped it, we kicked it, had a conversation about a week or two later about the contract, and he helped me get that done. And he kept his word, and he was a part of the album process. Did the video for me, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know what I mean? I got the good Snoop on there. And it's lovely, man. Lovely. I love it.
That song you say, stick up kid, traded that for a pot. Now when I bring that up, y'all get insensitive. Why do you think people get so closed off when you bring up your history?
Uh, honestly, I feel like the nerds do because they feel like I'm glorifying it, and they really don't. They really don't understand what I'm saying. Like I said, you know what I mean. I'm really talking about how far we came. And they don't understand that sometimes. They understand a lot of the shit, but they don't understand everything. So, people say it's like, yo, people be like, yo, another song about how many times you gonna do a song about this? Like, nigga, until my career over. I mean, that's where it started at. That's what inspired me to write these rhymes. That's what inspired me to want to do something else. That's where it all started at. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people get it, but some people don't.
I guess kind of circling back to the kind of going off that. Obviously, you're well aware of some of the reactions you got when you said that your album would be bigger than DMX's debut. Do you still believe that? And I'm curious if it's overwhelming at all, putting that kind of pressure on yourself when you're trying to make something special.
Man, I definitely believe I'm creating the Def Jam moment. And I'm saying that's what I meant. I definitely believe it. And nobody ever from Buffalo ever would sign to Def Jam, ever in life. Nobody. You know what I mean? It's like I created history already. When I put this album out, I'm just gonna follow through. You feel what I'm saying? And I believe I did it already.
When you're making the album, is it because it seems like just following your career and following the trajectory of this album, you really believe in yourself in like a big way. And I'm curious then with the Def Jam pressure being on, how do you kind of step into the studio and let all that fade away so you can focus on making the good product at hand?
Man, I just occupy my spot. I just do me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I need Benny the Butcher to be Benny the Butcher. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get in there and try to do anything else. I get in there and I focus, and what comes out, that's what comes out. That's been my process. I didn't change the process throughout none of this. You know what I'm saying? And I trust the process. I'm the creator of this shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going in there thinking too hard or I'm not going in there doing none of that shit, overthinking it. I'm going in there and expressing myself, you know what I'm saying? And being comfortable and expressing myself, talking about the things that I always talk about and letting that shit shine through.
Going off of kind of expressing yourself, the other lyric that I have to ask you about, because I feel like it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows, is the little lyric you had about Donald Trump winning the election. I feel like that's going to get some reactions from people. How did that lyric come about? And I'm curious if you actually believe that.
Hell yeah, I believe it. I believe that. I believe a lot of other people believe it. You know, a lot of people voted for Trump. They just not gonna make it public. You know what I'm saying? That's what I learned about making that statement. Uh, is making that public because you know, as a celebrity, you ain't supposed to reveal who you're voting for. Your political candidates, you ain't supposed to show that. But I haven't voted for only person I ever voted for was Obama. You know what I'm saying? So I was just really speaking on how, you know, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of everybody being so loyal. I'm sick of the Black community being so loyal to the Democratic Party when we haven't really got shown any results. So I was really speaking like when I said I was voting for Trump, I mean like, you know, really saying in a nutshell is like, what happened if we switch our party? Like, what could they do for us? Because the Democrats really ain't do much for us. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to ask what was the reaction like from the jump when because I know you said that before in an interview or something. You mentioned Trump earlier, and I'm curious what the reaction was from people when you brought that up. Was it immediate backlash, or did you find more people kind of coming out in support of what you were saying and being like, yeah, you're right?
Public backlash and privately people coming to me telling me that they love Trump.
Really?
Yeah. Right. It's crazy.
Crazy times we're living in.
And when I said that, when I said when election, like Trump, if he run again, I was really being sarcastic. It's mean like people hate on this man all they want, but this nigga gonna win if he wants to. And I'm saying all of that shit that they did going for Joe Biden and people, you know what I'm saying? People like, you know, Joe Biden is not that guy. Like I said, I ain't been really paying too much attention to the political race or what's going on in the White House because, you know, I don't feel like, you know, that shit really affects my everyday life. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know what the hell Joe Biden doing. So I'm interested to see how the next race gonna go. I probably gonna vote. I probably won't vote, but I'm interested to see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for sure. I guess in closing, how do you want people to receive this album, and what do you want from them to take away from it?
Man, album of the year, top of the year. You know what I'm saying? The most anticipated shit they've been waiting for. Refined hustler music. You know what I'm saying? That shit. You know, they know what it is. I gotten so good that people want to stop congratulating me. You feel what I'm saying? And that's weird. I've gotten so good with this shit. I ain't offend nobody, but I gotten so good with this shit. People's like, man, let's stop telling him he good. You know what I mean? But you know that shit don't help. You know what I mean? I'm the next one, man. I'm the chosen one, blessed by the hand of God. And January 26th, everybody gonna fucking see.
Last question. Are there any groups coming up specifically in 2024 similar to Griselda that you're excited to see, or is Griselda the last great rap group, do you think?
The last, you won't find it. You won't find it unless you got a time machine. It's over. It's the baby. Good night, Irene.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man. Here, I'll pause.